Because for the supreme Elohim, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahshua was knowledge. If you take advantage of it, you won't have to go to college. It's that indescribable feeling, that indescribable healing, that brings me nothing but chilling. It's the way I get it. Now God has blessed me with a gift of articulate and eloquence. A boy who grew up shy, introverted, couldn't talk to people at all. Now that he speaks, he drops a destiny ball. My goal is to spread his message through all sorts of tools possible, through the camera, through the YouTube, to skirt his good, to stop the madness and bring our community back to gladness. And we can do that through the everlasting source. At the last resort, we're having to have to go to sue and go to court. Yahweh, God, Jesus. For if you find him, you will feel that zeal and that power to heal. Study the Bible, pull down your idols and get it to
Yahweh wants the world to know, those who are like say, there are spiritual Israel that must become, there's physical Israel that must become spiritual. And all other nations of the world must become spiritual Israel.
Hallelujah.
And he's talking to us to be strong and of good courage. Meaning, don't fear what man has to say, what you stand against, well, what is true from Genesis to Revelation. Praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah, yes.
So, in Strong's, in the Hebrew recorded Strong's 55:53, the word matz is what is good. Be of good and good courage. And the definitions to that of matz is a prime root, to be alert, physically, on foot, or meant, encourage, confirm, be courageous, of good courage, steadfast, steadfastly, minded, strong, stronger, established, fortified, hardened, increase, prevail, strengthen, self, make strong, obstinate, speed. This is what it is. He said, be all this, of total courage. Be not afraid of Adam or Iyshshah, man or woman, what they may have to say against the truth. You stand upon it. That's what he wants those that are coming to know that you must become spiritual Israel. Because the kingdom is not, you cannot inherit the kingdom by, flesh and blood. You must become spiritual.
That's right.
Praise the mighty Yah. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy, chapter 31. Deuteronomy, chapter 31. Deuteronomy, chapter 31. In verse 6, and it reads.
Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 6. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For Yahweh thy Elohim, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
Praise the mighty God. This is the promises. When you become a spiritual Israel, you become his child. This is one of his promises. He said, be coact and of total courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For Yahweh thy Elohim, he is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
That's right.
Long as you don't forsake him, he won't forsake you.
Yeah.
But you don't go on that popularly, he's always with you. No. You turn your back on Yahweh, he will eventually turn his back on you.
Yes, he will.
Stay with him. These are the promises of straight believers from Genesis to Revelation. He wants you to be strong and coact, not fearing what if you have some truth which is from Genesis to Revelation, which is truth. And you bring it forth, you don't be afraid of what they may come back to say to you. Praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to Numbers. Numbers chapter 13. Numbers chapter 13 and verses 20 to 21, and it reads,
Numbers chapter
Wait. Yeah,
Numbers chapter 13, verse 20. And what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not, and be ye of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. 21. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rahab, as men cometh to Hamath.
See, this when they sent out the 12 spies, you know, to search out the land. He was just, all he wants them to emphasize. And be you of thorough courage and bring up the fruit of the land. No word, they don't matter that they were giants. He said, I'm with you. Just do as he say. That's all we have to do. We don't have to reason and think it out. It is written. It's a promise. Praise the mighty Yah. Let's go to Joshua. Joshua chapter 1. Joshua chapter 1. Joshua chapter 1. Joshua chapter 1, verses 6 to 9, and it reads.
Joshua chapter 1, verse 6. Be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto your fathers to give them.
Check this out. Be coax and of total courage, for unto this am shall thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Whether it's written or spoken, it's a command. So if you don't do it, you're breaking the command. And the breaking of a command is sin, hata'ah. This is what, whether it's written or spoken. When y'all speak it, it is SABBATH, it's a command. Continue.
Verse 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moshe my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest.
Here it is. He said, only be correct and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, the Torah, which Moshe my abbot sabbath thee. Turn not to the Yamin hand or to the smooth, that thou mayest prosper wherever thou goest. That was then, this is now.
Hallelujah.
Present time is the same. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's letting you know today, you listen and obey him, wherever you go, you shall prosper. You know, not only in material wealth, but in spiritual wealth. And the best most in spiritual wealth you can gain is eternal life. Praise the mighty Yah.
Verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Verse 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For Yahweh thy Elohim is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
Praise Yahweh. This book of the high Torah shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein Yowm and Layil, that thou may observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have told success. People of the world, the law is not done away with.
No, it's not.
The law is the whole book. He knew that people were going to try to take half a book of the old and they were believing in the new. But it's written throughout both books. He said he written in Psalms 40, chapter 40, verse 7, in Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 7. He started coming the whole volume of the book. He knew man was going to try to pick and choose, listening to a man. And that's what people are. People are rather listen to the creature than the creator. It is written.
That's right. Yeah.
If you don't believe what's written, you're not a believer. And when that's the flesh. And then that flesh is the buddy with the devil.
Yes.
And it said, have I not survived thee? Be quiet and have told her, be not afraid, neither be dismayed, for Yahweh thy Elohim is with thee wheresoever thou goest. Hallelujah, Yahweh. When you walk on the streets, he's with you.
Hallelujah, I
Peace.
believe
He's
it.
supposed to command peace. He gave it. Yeshua came back and took it and put that glory back on it, which was lost in the garden. With Adam and Kawah gave it away to the devil. But he gave it back to bestow it on us. Because in this present time, it is time now to bring truth. You know, we've been told lies many centuries, starting in the 300 centuries from Constantine. So it's time to debunk them lies. And that's our duty. Praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
Not afraid what no man of any religion has to say. We just bring the truth. That's it.
That's right.
Skip down to chapter 10, Joshua chapter 10, Joshua chapter 10, Joshua chapter 10 and verse 25. Praise Yahweh.
Joshua chapter 10 and verse 25. And Yahshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage. But thus shall Yahweh do to all your enemies against whom ye fight.
Hallelujah. This is the promise. All we got to do is stand. For thus said Yah, the battle is not ours here. We just standing on these words from Genesis to Revelation. True. We don't have to do that. He said, stand still and watch his salvation, which is Yahshua. Praise the mighty Yah. Let's skip down to chapter 23, verses 6 to 7, and it reads, praise, all praise belongs to our Yahweh. His glory.
Joshua chapter 23, verse 6. Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moshe, that ye turn not aside therefrom to the right hand or to the left. Verse 7. That ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their Elohims, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them.
And world, this is it. If you're not following from Genesis to Revelation, serving Yahweh and Yeshua, you're under a religion. And they have many different names. Because they all have took something from the Bible, man had, by the influence of the puppet master, the devil, and made it a religion. Because you're really worshiping him. That's what he's saying. You know, he said, be you therefore very courageous to shema and to do all that is written in the book of the high Torah of Moshe. That you turn not aside to the right hand nor to the left. That's why it's that straight and narrow path. You know, you don't go to the left or right. You're moving forward straight ahead. Because if you're looking back, as Yeshua said, putting your hand to the plow and looking back, you're not worthy. He got you protected back there.
Okay. Yeah.
That you come not among these nations, that these that remain among you need to make mention of the name of their Elohim, or cause to swear by them, nor serve them, nor bow yourself to them. Wood and stone. See, this is what people they need to read. The old. See, the influence of the devil through man and woman got them, hey, the old is done away with. You don't need it, but when they want to feast you out your money, they go back there, tell you about tithing and all that. This is where this old is the instructional book of the do's and don'ts to get to the new.
Yes, it is.
The new wasn't written, they was walking out the new. They were referring back to the old. The old is the do's and don'ts to get you to the new. The new is final. Those final words to get you into the kingdom. You know, that's it. Either you're going to be in the kingdom or you're going to be in the lake of fire. That's it. It's only two. Ain't no in between nothing. You know, as they call no. And ain't no rapture. You know, we're going to be caught up and brought out. He said his kingdom is coming down. And most people call themselves New Testament believer. And that's how I know they don't really believe. It's all in Revelation. And throughout the New Testament, the kingdom is coming down. His Father's kingdom up there. And then people want to put people in Shemayim heaven after they die. He tells you, the one that world mainly known as Jesus, he tells you out of his own mouth, John 3 and 13, no one has ascended or descended but him. It is written, you go back to the dirt you come from, and you know no more. You go into the grave talking to him, it's written right in the old. That's why you need to read the old. That they know no more, hear no more. All that the work is done under the sun is done.
Yes.
That's it. It's about truth.
Yes.
That's what's lost. But his truth is present, and we are bringing it back to this present time. All praises to our Abba Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Did we finish that?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go to 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel chapter 10. 2 Samuel chapter 10 and verse 12. Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
2 Samuel chapter 10 and verse 12. Be of good courage, and let us play the men for our people, and for the cities of our Elohim. And Yahweh do that which seemeth him good.
See, Yahweh is redundant, because he know mankind is hard-headed.
Yes.
You know, he said, be of total courage, be of total courage. He letting you know, don't be afraid. I send you out there, you are well equipped. I equipped you. You just, he said, don't be afraid of the faces. See, you got to read the old to get all this Musa instructions.
Yes.
Then you'll know how to really stand. He said, don't bow down to no wood or stone. He said, make no images up a heaven or on the earth or beneath. Meaning the fish symbols, the cross that's a graven image.
Amen.
That cross was a thing for crucifixion.
For evil.
He came, that's how they tortured you. He came down, he's not there anymore. So that's an image, as they did came out of Israel, made an image. That's an image that shouldn't be known. When your earrings and all, he said, make no image. See, you wouldn't know that if you don't read this old book. It's telling you everything. But popular, the man today are popular teachers all sizes of churches, they teach it. It's false. We've been bamboozled since the 300th century. It took all these centuries, so it's in you. That's why the renewal of the mind, to be baptized, submerged, and have an open mind.
Yes.
We have to renew our mind every day, all day.
Yes. Yes.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Have to get that stinking thinking out.
Yes.
Uproot that old man thinking and put in the spirit man thinking. The flesh is fully grown, but the ruach, as you come to smirk, it's a babe. It has to be fed. The spiritual food. As he said, meditate on this day and night.
Yep.
Holla Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to
Hallelujah.
Second Chronicles chapter 19. 2 Chronicles 19. All praise belongs to Abba Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
2 Chronicles chapter 19. 2 Chronicles chapter 19 and verse 11, and it reads.
2 Chronicles chapter 19 and verse 11. And behold, Amariah, the chief priest, is over you in all matters of Yahweh. And Zebediah, the son of Ishmael, the ruler of the house of Yehuda, for all the king's matter. Also, the Levites shall be officers before you. Deal courageously, and Yahweh shall be with the good.
That's all he's talking about. Be courageous and be a good courage. Don't be afraid to do this work that the Father has called you to do.
Right.
His will is our will. Praise the mighty God. As the Son is, we made in their image. So we have come to have that same spirit that rose him up is in us. We have all power and authority over the devil. If we have it over the devil, what is mere man? Nothing to us. The devil's nothing to us. He's under us.
Yes,
Hallelujah.
All the glory and
Yes.
honor has been bestowed. Yahshua came and took it back by force. So we must be forceful and bold about bringing these words, the truth from Genesis to Revelation, not worrying what no one said. That's it.
For us.
This book is final to me from Genesis to Revelation. People had been beaten and killed for this.
Yes.
It's final. No debating here. You can go debate with someone else. We just bringing truth, believing truth from Genesis to Revelation. That's it. It's about saving souls from the lake of fire. It's not about us. We just a vessel, chosen vessel to be used. And what an honor.
Hallelujah.
Praise the mighty God.
Praise the mighty God.
Hallelujah.
Yes. Thank you. Chosen.
Stay in Chronicles. Go to chapter 22. Chronicles chapter 22, verse 13, and it reads. Second Chronicles. No, First Chronicles. First Chronicles, chapter 22,
Okay.
verse 13, and it reads.
First Chronicles chapter 22 and verse 13. Then shalt thou prosper if thou takest heed to fulfill the statutes and judgments which Yahweh charged Moshe with concerning Yisrael. Be strong and of good courage. Dread not, nor be dismayed.
Hallelujah. Thou shalt prosper if thou takest heed to fulfill the statutes and mitzvah which Yahweh charged Moshe with concerning Yisrael. Be correct and of good total courage. Dread not, nor dismay. Don't dread things, like you say. As you dread things, you hate it.
Right.
No, and don't and nor be dismayed, discouraged. You're supposed to love this. When you come this, you're supposed to come to love this more and more each and every day.
Hallelujah.
That's it.
Thank you,
Y'all,
Yah.
that's what's wrong with the world.
Thank you, Yah.
Most of them don't know, and then those who know they have forgotten their first love, Abba Yahweh.
Yes.
We supposed to be on fire,
Yes, we are.
fire, and take me higher and higher.
Fire, yes.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, Yahweh.
Yes.
Stay in First Chronicles. Go skip down to chapter 28. Chapter 28, verse 20.
First Chronicles chapter 28 and verse 20. And David said to Shalomo, his son, be strong and of good courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed. For Yahweh Elohim, even my Elohim, will be with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee, until thou hast finished all the work for the service of the house of Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
And Dawei Amar to Shlomo, his band. Be correct and of total courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed, for Yahweh Elohim, even my Elohim, will be with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee, until thou hast finished all the work for the servant, the habit of the high Bible of Yahweh. This is what he's talking to us.
Amen.
He said he would not fail you until we have finished the work that we are called to do for him. Building up his Bible, his house, around the earth. That's it. Praise the mighty Yah.
Yes.
Let's see, let's skip down to chapter 32. Chapter 32. First, but no, go to, let's go to that second Chronicles, second Chronicles, chapter 32. Second Chronicles, chapter 32, and verse 7, you read.
Second Chronicles chapter 32 and verse 7. Be strong and courageous. Be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Assyria, nor for all the multitude that is with him. For there be more with us than with him.
That's true.
Hallelujah.
That's
Yes.
true. He's telling you don't be afraid of this government here on this area. Because there's more with us than this government is. And he just keep telling you, be correct and courageous. Be not afraid or dismayed. That's it. Don't faint. Just stand. Stand on these words you have. You get weak, think of a scripture to bring you back up or something. That's what you do. That's why he say meditate on his word day and night. Then you won't have no downtime to be down. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Being a believer of Yahweh, you should never be down. You should always be looking to hear something more from our Yahweh to get better and better, stronger and
Hallelujah.
stronger.
Yes.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Yes, brother. Teach.
Let's go to Ezra. Ezra chapter 10. Ezra chapter 10. Ezra, right behind Second Chronicles. Ezra chapter 10. Ezra chapter 10, verses 4 to 6.
Ezra chapter 10, verse 4.
Oh,
Arise, for this matter belongeth unto thee. We also will be with thee. Be of good courage and do it. Verse 5. Then arose Ezra and made the chief priests, the Levites, and all Yisrael to swear that they should do according to this word. And they swear. Verse 6. Then Ezra rose up from before the house of Elohim and went into the chamber of Yohanan, the son of Eliashib. And when he came thither, he did eat no bread, nor drink water, for he mourned because of the transgression of them that had been carried away.
And that's what it is. We supposed to mourn for, people misfit, not be, but I'm so glad that happened to them. No, you don't do that.
No.
And then this is what he said.
that's right.
Arise, for this matter belonging unto thee. We also will be with thee. Be of total courage. Arise, Yisrael, and stand, for thus says Yahweh, from Genesis to Revelation, for Yahweh is with you. Be of good total courage. That's what he said. Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Let's go back to Yahshua. Yahshua Yahshua chapter 14. Chapter 14. Verse 12.
Yahshua, chapter 14, and verse 12. Now therefore give me this mountain, whereof Yahweh spake in that day, for thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be Yahweh will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as Yahweh said.
Skip up to verse 11 and read to 12.
Okay. Verse 11, Joshua chapter 14, verse 11. As yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moshe sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now. For war, both to go out and to come in.
Praise Yahweh. This man is 80-some years old, talking that this is how y'all ever be correct and told this. There's no age to nothing of Yahweh. It's when he has an assignment for you to complete it. It's you always say, I am strong in Yahweh, and I know this. He renews our strength like eagles' wings every morning. I know this. I just been through a devil try to do a beat down on me on so many different illness, but I believed, and Yah brought me through it, and it showed me that I am co-acting within Yahweh.
That's right.
You got to believe it for yourself.
That's right.
You don't need to call upon no one but Yahweh. That's when you know he gave you to be speak to it, and you know which I knew it was the attack of the enemy, and I had said, I have conquered you, devil, and then I said I had like he said we more than conquered. Then I said I have overcame you, because my big brother Yahshua was a conqueror, and he has overcome the world. So I know, illness and all is up the devil attack of them. And I used these spiritual words and my faith and belief. Hallelujah. And Yah brought me through it. I mean, it was so many different attacks in 1 week. My flesh was afraid a minute. I had to say, shut up, flesh. I know the promises of my daddy. Hallelujah.
We believe him with you, brother. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
12.
Verse 12. Now therefore give me this mountain, whereof Yahweh spake in that day, for thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be Yahweh will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as Yahweh said.
Praise the mighty Yah. This man, he was strong of good and good courage. He knew him and Yahshua was the only two that came back with the report. They believed then, and then they went through it. And now in your court, like Roy Micaiah said, you're supposed to go from Ibryi now to Ibryi now. Each time he bring you to something, should be strong and correct to believe Abba Yahweh and to tell everybody, I don't care what you say. I know what my daddy is doing to me. You stay in your lane, I'm in your zone. See, I'm and some of us are at a high level, that which all of us have to come up. They say, y'all just beginning. The last 4 or 5 years, I was being tried and loved it. The last 3, as I went to sleep for the resurrection, it's been amazing. It's been amazing what y'all can do, will do, and has done for us. And you have to hush no matter who it is. They don't know. Y'all talks to all those individuals.
Yeah.
So I can't go with what you say, what you figure was going on with me. I knew God didn't have to tell me, well, all this, I was going through all this. I don't have to. I'm here to testify now what he did. Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise
Hallelujah.
Yah. Thank you.
1 Samuel 14. So hey, we ain't afraid of no Adam or Iyshshah thing. We know the promises he wants you to have. We are strong and co-act in it. You can't tell us nothing different here at Yahweh and Yahshua's temple and many other temples around the world. Those are holy surrender. You must surrender. Become his zakah. Sit at his feet and say, okay, and whatever you say, Abba Yahweh, ain't no second wind and thinking it. Once he said, once we hear it, we become doers. You do nothing, you get nothing. You can blab out your mouth all you sure say, oh, how they say they love me with their lips, but their actions. Praise the mighty Yah. 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 14. Verses 6 to 7. Read.
1 Samuel chapter 14 and verse 6. And Jonathan said to the young man that bare his armor, come, and let us go over unto the garrison of these uncircumcised. It may be that Yahweh will work for us, for there is no restraint to Yahweh to save by many or by few.
That's it. That's it. That's what he said. And Jonathan, Amar to the young Adam that bare his armor, come, let us go over to the garrison of these uncircumcised. It may be that Yahweh will work for us, and for there is no restraint to Yahweh, and to Yahshua by many or few. That's what it is. They believed, they knew. They was a good, strong, and told courage. One doubt. They knew, they had seen it and lived it. That's what you have to do with these, the bonds. You have to put them to practice and live it. And it will work for you. Praise the mighty Yah. Hallelujah. Yahweh.
Verse 7. And his armor bearer said unto him, do all that is in thine heart. Turn thee. Behold, I am with thee according to thy heart.
Yes. That's how it is. You know, if you're fearful, you're going to trickle down to somebody else. They're going to be fearful. But if you be strong and be of good courage, if they going to see that and have their confidence, they going to say, wow, this person is really confident. Your family, I'm talking about, family and people around you. Then that will be drawn into Yahshua. Praise the mighty Yah. That was it, right?
Yes.
Let's go to Daniel. Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3. Verses 16 to 18.
Daniel chapter 3, verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. Verse 17. If it be so, our Elohim, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. Verse 18. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy Elohims, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
As our Raw Macabre say, they didn't just get this faith just then. It was, you know, they was going faith by faith as we do. And this how they said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Amar to the hot matter. Oh, Nebuchadnezzar, We are not careful to mar thee in this matter. They were strong and of good courage. They knew who, like we know who we serve and the promises. They said, if it be so, our Elohim, whom we ever is able to deliver us from the burning fury furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O Malach. And here go the strong and told courage they had. They said, but if not, be it Yahweh to thee, O Malach, that we will not avid thy Elohim, nor shaka to go to image which thou hast set up. And that's what we have to do. We bow down to no man, nothing, or woman, to what, because it's majority of them believe in a lie. We standing up for truth. We would not bow down to that lie of the devil. Praise the mighty Yah. Though you may try, you can't convince us.
No.
We are convinced from Genesis to Revelation.
Fully persuaded in Yah.
That's it. Fully persuaded. 100.
Hallelujah.
Praise our Yahweh. Let's go to Matthew. Matthew chapter 14. Matthew chapter 14. Matthew chapter 14. Verses 4 to 5. And it reads,
Matthew chapter 14 and verse 4. For Yachanan said unto him, it is not lawful for thee to have her. Verse 5. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet.
See, he was strong of good courage. He was a righteous man of Yah. He said, for Yachanan marred him, it is not lawful, it is not Torah for thee to have her. And when he would have put him to Malbak, he feared the multitude, because they counted him a Nabi. See, he was correct and of good courage. He knew. He knew that was wrong. He told the king that. And everybody like to say the king would have killed him right then, but that crowd believed in him.
Telling the truth.
See, that was it, for telling the truth. And that's what we would die for this. We do. We die daily to get this in us. We die daily to get this word in us. We die from self to get this in us. We die from people to stand on this. Praise be to the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go back to Daniel. Daniel chapter 6. Daniel chapter 6. Daniel chapter 6. Daniel chapter 6 verses 10 to 17.
Daniel chapter 6 and verse 10. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his Elohim as he did aforetime.
Praise to mighty Yah. He was correct and in total courage. He knew this was it. He knew the decree was signed. But was he afraid? No. Because he was obedient to his Elohim. Continue.
Verse 11. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his Elohim. Verse 12. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any Elohim or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and Persian, which altereth not.
Ain't that something? Man, they got their man law where they can't alter, but they done been altering our Yahweh's law for centuries. Man, it's so messed up. Continue.
Verse 13. Then answered they and said before the king, that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Yehudah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. Verse 14. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Verse 15. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persian is, that no decree nor statute which the king establisheth may be changed. Verse 16. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy Elohim, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. Verse 17. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his masters, and that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel.
Praise the mighty God. He like said in verse 16, then the Amalek Sabbath, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the Amalek Amar and Amar to Daniel, Thy Elohim, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. He knew of that mighty Elohim. He knew that. And then he said that, and the sword was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den. Wow. Like it say, it's, the old is the shadow of things to come. Where was another stone rolled upon something? Where Yahshua was laid.
Yeah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
The old is just a shadow of things to come. Where they thought Yahshua was going to be there, and he rose. Like Daniel, they thought he was going to be chewed up, but he rose.
That's right.
Praise the mighty Yah. John, Yakanan, chapter 19. Yakanan, chapter 19. Yakanan, chapter 19. Verses 10 to 11.
Yahshua, chapter 19, verse 10. Then said Pilate unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee, and have power to release thee? Verse 11. Yahshua answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore he that delivereth me unto thee hath the greater sin.
Praise the mighty God. See, this was Yahshua. He was of total courage, standing on his hours done. And that's what this is about. Be strong and be of good courage. That's it. No matter what the situation in your life, or what if someone tried to go against the truth, just stand. Praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to Acts. Acts chapter 4. Acts chapter 4. Acts chapter 4. Verses 20 to 22.
Acts chapter 4 and verse 20. For we cannot but speak the things which we have seen and heard. Verse 21. So when they had further threatened them, they let them go, finding nothing how they might punish them, because of the people. For all men glorify Elohim for that which was done. Verse 22. For the man was above 40 years old, on whom this miracle of healing was showed.
Praise the mighty God. Like I say, they was correct and I'm told good. They were just doing what y'all sent them out to do.
Yeah.
Yeshua sent them out to heal the sick, do all this, and tell them of the, and cry loud, spare not, that the kingdom of Yahweh is at hand. Like we're doing. Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11. Hebrews chapter 11. Hebrews chapter 11. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 23.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 23. By faith, Moshe, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment.
See, they was correct, and you know, and a good courage. They knew, they seen upon them that this child was called by Yahweh. They see that you know, to go against the Pharaoh back then, you know, that'd be like in this instant death. But they would correct, but knew the words of our Yahweh. Praise the mighty Yah. Let's go to Psalms. Psalms chapter 3. Psalms chapter 3. Psalms chapter 3 and verse 6.
Psalms chapter 3 and verse 6. I would not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about.
That's right. Like say the masses, who cares? You know, y'all number in that religious, a different religious sect telling you that the lie they've been taught. We say, I would not be afraid of 10,000 of them that have set themselves against me round about. Who cares? They got a lie, we got the truth. So we stand on the truth. Like you say, be correct, you know, and be of good courage. That's what it's all about. Yah wants us to be strong in Him, you know, and be bold in Him, you know, and His righteous to bar Him. That's it. Praise the mighty God. It's about saving souls, not saying who's smarter than the next. What, edifying yourself? You big old smart dummy. That's all you are. Going against each other. Stop it, Yisrael. Praise the mighty Yah. Psalms chapter 27. Psalms chapter 27. Going back and forth about the name and all that. You know, like I saw a guy on Facebook, a sister had Yahweh and Yah. Only thing he could say, well, you spelled it right and you said it right. What's that? Our ancestors knew that the correct name, which we don't really know, we know of it, and they knew the correct name and had him there with it, and still was disobedient. He know we trying. That's all it is. He know it was lost to it. He know your sincere heart. But Israel want to make records and all that. I say the name of Yahweh, and you call him Yahweh, I tell you, you are a liar. Foolish. The devil know who we are. That's what we playing on. Once he know who we are, he coming in the midst to play. It's written. Yahweh said, where you been? Devil. To and fro. See, I can chew the ground up. And now today, Israel had come like Roman, still stuck in kindergarten at the Israel, get a little knowledge and want to attack each other. Nothing, you still in the flesh. You don't see the big picture and the devil playing against each other. Wake up. Praise the mighty Yah. Psalms 27, verses 3 to 4.
Psalms 27 and verse 3. Though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. Verse 4. One thing have I desired of Yahweh, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahweh all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of Yahweh, and to inquire in his temple.
Hallelujah. That's what we hear. That's why we hear on the Layil party, to behold his beauty and all that. You know, it don't matter. Like you say, be correct and be of good courage. That's what it was. Say, though Saul shall camp me, my pace shall not fear. Though war shall rise against me, in this would I be confident. I kind of thing I had desired of Yahweh, that I would seek after, that I may dwell in the high by of Yahweh all the Yowm of my cat, to behold beauty of Yahweh, to inquire in his temple. That's it. To sit here, come in and inquire at his foot, what shall we do? Our Yahweh, praise him. Let's go to Psalms 46. Psalms chapter 46. Psalms chapter 46, verses 2 to 3.
Psalms chapter 46, verse 2. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. Verse 3. Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah.
Hallelujah. Therefore we fear, though the high earth be removed, though the mountains be carried.
Because for the
Supreme
Supreme Elohim, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahshua's knowledge. If you take advantage of it, you won't have to go to college. It's that indescribable feeling, that indescribable healing, that brings me nothing but chilling. It's the way I get it. Now God has blessed me with a gift of articulate and eloquence. A God who grew up shy, introverted, couldn't talk to people at all. Now that he speaks, he drops the destiny ball. My goal is to spread his message through all sorts of tools possible, through the camera, through the YouTube, to stir his good, to stop the madness and bring our community back to gladness. And we can do that through the everlasting source at the last resort where I happen to have to go to sue and go to court. Yahweh, God, Jesus. For if you find him, you will feel that zeal and that power to heal. Study the Bible, pull down your idols, and get into the revival.